What's up, you guys? Brad Swanson, Love and Communication Coach, where we're breaking through with Brad. No BS. No more bullshit. No more lying. Straight up truth. Can you handle it? That's what this is all about. Is being able to tell the truth. Being able to tell yourself the truth first, and then be able to tell others the truth. If you can't tell yourself the truth, you definitely can't tell anyone else the truth. It's freaking impossible. And people are walking around in the world lying to themselves about everything. Making up things in their head, their justifications and stuff. And then trying to convince others that that's the truth. And really what I want to talk about today is woke-ass relationships. Woke-ass relationships. Spiritually evolved and evolving relationships. Whether specifically romantic relationships, friendships, all of it. They're all connected. Relationships are relationships. But when it comes to intimacy and romance and heart and vulnerability and sex and stuff, it gets way more intense. And everybody freaks the F out. People freak out. I tell people, like, what does it look like to have a woke-ass relationship? Well, to me, I'm in the learning, and it's evolving every day. But what the thing that's shifted is that it's been a practice. It's been a practice. I've been practicing communication. I've been practicing listening. I've been practicing, being in tune with myself emotionally, feeling my feelings, all these things now for the last 25 years. I'm 46 now. And I finally feel really centered and grounded in a place where I'm like solid when I'm interacting with a woman. And when I'm interacting with the people I love and my friends and just everyone around me, like I feel confident and grounded in myself. I feel really solid within me as a human being because I love me. I dig me. I dig every part of me. And not some cocky, conceited way, but just in a, like, I love who I am way. Like I've burned away all the crap, all the self-judgment, and all the freaking ego stuff and all the silly stuff that is nonsense. And I dig who I am. I love who I am as a human being. So now I can share myself and my gift with the world. And I can have dope-ass relationships. Woke, woke-ass relationships. Dope, woke-ass relationships. That's cool. I just made that up. But specifically with romantic relationships, it's like, I see the metaphor is kind of like going to war, right? It's like going to war. People are like, oh yeah, you can train for war and all that stuff, and you can train, right? With fake bullets and fake guns and stuff. But you're gonna see who you really are and how other people really react when real bombs and real guns start going off. And that's like romantic relationships, because everybody says, yeah, I want a relationship. I want an amazing relationship. I want to have passion and love and communication and vitality and connection and all these things. I want all that. Oh my God. But they're not willing to do the deeper inner work to ever actually have it. It is so challenging to have a woke-ass relationship. It's insanely challenging. People walk right up to the edge and then they get terrified and run the other direction a lot of times. And so I'm watching myself as I'm stepping into having healthy relationships. And as I'm particularly stepping into one right now in particular that is blowing my heart and my mind open, right? It's incredible, the sensation. And so, but what does it take to do that? It takes being so incredibly raw and vulnerable and honest with yourself first. You have to be willing to tell yourself the truth first. The very first thing. You have to be constantly looking and assessing, are you always telling yourself the truth? Make sure you're not lying, you're not flipping out coming from fear or some old past bullshit thing that is messing you up. Because when you start being vulnerable and you start feeling vulnerable with another human being, especially romantically, especially sexually, intimately, that's when people get crazy. They go bananas and do weird shit. Like ghosting you or running or this or that or flipping out or starting a fight for no reason or ending the relationship for no reason. So you got to look to see, right? Where does all that stuff come from? So the very first thing is being able to tell yourself the truth. And then the second thing is being able to communicate authentically with another being who you can see is also doing the inner work, is working on having the tools to be able to communicate with you in that same way. Because it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be difficult. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have bumps in the road. And that has to be, you have to understand that first. It's never going to be just smooth sailing because we're emotional and we trigger each other's stuff. We have triggers. You have to be willing to get triggered and communicate in a healthy way with your person. In a healthy way. Go, hey, look, that really just freaked me out. That just scared the crap out of me, and here's why. And have an open dialogue about these things. This is what it's like to have a woke-ass relationship. This is what it's like to be in a healthy, awake relationship. It is absolutely riveting to be with someone who's also on the same page and willing to be just as raw and vulnerable and honest as you. And who's willing to stand there in the fire when it gets hot just the same as you and isn't gonna bail when things get challenging. They go, no, I'm not bailing. I'm gonna stay here and we're gonna talk this out. We're gonna feel this out. We're gonna figure it out. Even if you need to take a day apart and come back, you're like, no, I'm not just bailing. It's like having somebody who, in war, the person you want in your foxhole, right? They say that, it's the truth. Who do you want in your foxhole? Who's going to fight with you? Who's going to stay there with you? And go through it with you? That's having a woke-ass relationship. It's not some airy-fairy bullshit thing. It's not some, yay, everything's hunky-dory all the time. That's not what I'm talking about. It is about 1,000,000% being willing to constantly observe your own stuff, your own shit, your own fears, and communicate them purely and vulnerably and rawly and honestly with another being who's willing to do the same. And then things get really interesting. And then all of a sudden what starts bubbling up in people is love, real love. They start going, whoa, wait, what is this? What is this sensation? They're like, oh God, oh my God, no, this is so overwhelming and so much. It's like, yeah, because love is real, hello? It's not some concept. Love is not a concept. It's real. And if you ever tune in, you'll start to feel it. It is partly an emotional experience. Your feelings and stuff start rolling up and you feel this overwhelming sensation where you're like, oh my God, I could cry. I could freaking I feel like I'm going to implode. That's how you know you're on the right path, when all your feelings and emotions and your heart and your center, everything come together. That's the experience of it. And it's dope. It's like walking a high wire. Yeah, it's terrifying, but it's exhilarating at the same time. You want to have that, you got to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to step into it every day. There is no time off. You get zero time off, none, zero. It doesn't ever let up. Every day you got to be willing to face yourself, tell the truth, face your fears, step into it every moment. I realized 10 years ago, I surrendered and said, okay, I get it. I get no time off. I get no time off. This doesn't ever change. It never shifts. It's a thing that I'm choosing to step into every single day of every moment of my life. And I love it. It's exciting. Whether it's with friendships or with a woman, it's exciting to me. I'm inspired by it. And so I'm not annoyed by it. I'm inspired. And until you're willing to shift your perspective, you're going to be getting your ass kicked. You're going to be stumbling back from fear and all this stuff and everything that, that keeps getting in your way. Instead of waking up and going, you know what? Let me be raw. Let me be pure. Let me be honest. Let's cut to the chase and let's get into it with each other. In a really loving, fun, authentic, down and dirty, fun kind of way. It's all about making love. Making love, whether you're making love with words, your energy, or actually making love, it's all the same thing. If you can see it that way. So, are you ready to have a woke-ass relationship? Are you ready to face yourself and face your partner, your family, your friends, everybody, and be awake? Stop hiding. Start telling the truth in every moment about everything all the time? If you are, it's super exciting. It's terrifying at first. It is terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. It really is. But then it gets really exciting. So, if you like what we're doing here, if you like what I'm doing here, my homies here, then keep checking out my page, breakingthroughwithbrad.com. Like my Breaking Through with Brad YouTube page. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification. Share it with all your friends. If you have questions, comments, write them in. But look to see, are you ready to be awake? Stop complaining? Stop being a victim? We shall see, right?